In FAB Builder, we are committed to revolutionize the development activities and specifically reducing the time and effort for the by the dev teams on the auxiliary stuff so that they can focus majorly on writing business logic and doing the innovation part. If I just briefly explain in one shot, you can see like over here we can have templates, customs, AI assistants or Swagger. Those things can be fed up into the FAB Builder engine. There you can choose the front end technology stacks or whatever technology stacks that you want, and it ends up in generating code for front end, back end, mobile application database that is Docker based. So basically it can be pushed into GitHub, it could be pushed into Docker repositories, it could be deployed on AWS, Azure or GCP directly. There are some couple of features like based on our beta testing and some initial customers, it feels out like the optimization that they achieve is about 60%. There is one-click source code download, there is one-click deployment, 360-degree dashboards, and enterprise customer support that we are offering along with customization. So that's a pretty standard way of authenticating a person. We like to have email address or password if the user is already authenticated or already signed up with us, or you can directly use Google sign up. On registration, we want email, password, or if there is something called referred by, if the new user is referred by someone, then he will get some advantage. Over here you can see like the initial look of the dashboard is about creation of the application with template, with scratch, from the scratch or from importing the Swagger. Under it you can see the list of recently worked on applications. In the applications, this is the holistic view of all the applications that are there in your organization. So basically whenever a new user sign up, he ends up in creating a company specific workspace which is completely authenticated and authorized to that team only. It is, the data is never shared, and even it is stored in an encrypted format. Over here, since I am logged in into a demo mode, so that's why I am able to see all the applications that we have developed during testing, we have developed during the demo. Like right now today as well, we are going to create another one, so it will be added over here. This is the whole application, and if I click on any application like this one was demoed last week with Dipali. So you can see over here we have the tech stack, React and Design, Flutter, Node.js with MongoDB. We can have the artifacts like how many applications are created with this, how many endpoints are created with this, what are the approximate file counts, if the demo is going to expire soon, or if there is an hosting plan attached to it, then it will be shown over here. In the extensions, we are creating new extensions for our platform. The recent one that we are working on is the Razorpay integration. So it's one click. If you enable this one, then your application starts supporting Razorpay payments. So those kind of mini apps or micro apps, those are in process of development. Over here in the manage code, you can connect the GitHub repositories on which this code is going to be pushed. So you can connect front end repository, back end repository and app repository separately. Under it you can see the endpoints that are created by like when we come to this configuration section, I am going to connect it, but you can see over here there are endpoints for getting test APIs, test by ID, autocomplete, put request, post request, basically doing the CRUD operations along with autocomplete and Excel import export. In the field section you can say, okay, in this entity Pankaj with name Pankaj, it has name FR or some random text like the fields. And the views that are going to be created would be, since we are more fan of React and Next.js, so we are focusing on the more components. So it is like table component is created, filter component is created, autocomplete drop down is created, create form, edit form, view form, import export from Excel. So those are the views that are going to be created if we configure our FAB Builder for an application. Coming to the earn credits, it is like kind of refer and earn for the developers and for the community. So if someone shares a post on LinkedIn or write a blog on Medium, we will be happy to share some credits, and they can convert it into the credits for download. They can utilize it or do the other activities. It's kind of mini gamification into the product. Like recently we have generated Hackverse, so if someone is using Hackverse as reference code, they will get to credit. To referrals, it is more towards the B2B model. So if you refer someone, you can see all the reports out of it, like what is the balance, how they are interacting. It is just to, in the user section, like this is interesting. From here you can control the access of each and every user that is signed up or connected to your platform in the workspace, in your workspace. So for example, in my case, I can see a lot of workspaces because I'm like in regular demos. So if I switch, probably there is less users, but this is more workspace related access control. Over here, obviously you can view, and also you can give access to, like if he is a developer, then he is only able to see the application creation flow. If he is a support guy, then he is only able to see the payments related or emailing related, communication related stuff. So from here it is like more access control over the platform, or not over the platform, but more specifically to the workspace you are in. In this support, since I am the super admin, so I can see all the support queries that people has asked or requested for, like this person has signed up and redeemed the balance for $10 for some like this referral program. So these are the requests that are going on. So my support team is going to manage it, and they are approving based on the validation criteria. In these settings, it's like if you want to brand the platform for white labeling purposes or something, in more specific for B2B. So you can upload your own logo, you can upload your own background image, or maybe if you want to have a different theme, we are right now supported light and dark theme, but for enterprise it could be another theme based on your own branding. That's majorly it. Now coming to back to the dashboard. So from here, when we say we are like this acts as a co-pilot for the developer, I'm starting from that point. With co-pilot for developer is this feature, generate with AI assistance. For example, you need an application. These are basically some tips or some easy to use prompts. Let's say you have an idea for hotel management system. So rather than this, I would say hotel management system, and it has staff, it has reception, some appointments, some room booking. Let's say room bookings. So if I do this, I do not want, it's not patient history obviously in hotel. So if I do this and click on generate, so based on assistance, it will give you an maybe not an appropriate but close to appropriate some ideas. Okay, these would be the entities that might be needed for you. It has reception, it has appointment with date time, it has room booking with check-in date, check-out date. So it will give the approximation of the entities or the core features that you have prompted in. You can extend the prompt up to like 4000 characters, so there is no such limitation that you need to have one-liner prompt. You can explain about your application or product as much as you can. Continuing from here, you need to choose the front-end technology. Yeah, I want it in Bootstrap, I want it in Node.js, I want it in MongoDB or SQL, I want Flutter application. By the way, like if you look at this one, .NET is coming soon. We are working on it. On the mobile side, iOS and Android native are in progress. So soon we are going to roll out these app features as well. And today's demo is about Jan, right? Jan 10. So this would be our application, going to be our application name. Over here we are supporting 4 modes. Like if you want a single tenant application that is not SaaS based, single tenant is sufficient. If you have plans, like right now it is acting as, it will act as single tenant, but in future it would become multi-tenant support. If you want to have those kind of plans, you can choose flexi. This is the more optimal in my opinion. If you damn sure know that I want multi-tenant application like this FAB Builder itself, from day zero, multi-tenant is a good candidate. If you want white label with subdomains, you can also configure those ones. So these are the settings that we are providing out of the box. This will ends up in a brief summary about the application. Complete. And you can see like all the entities are already there. The thing that we have that we get assistance for. If you want, we need, like, again, if we are considering it as copilot, let's say I want more entities. Yeah, I forgot something. Let's say room staff is there, booking is there, like, yeah. Oh, or sorry, not this. So if let's say I want to add one more entity, or I'm thinking of, yeah, let's add sauna thingy or swimming pool booking or any specific one, I can write a prompt over here that then it will create the entity for it. Or if we have a Swagger link, let's say our favorite pet store swagger.io, let's say we have a Swagger link and we want to have these entities into our platform, so we can click directly on import, we can paste the link, do the magic, it will clone, or it will like read through all the entities. So yeah, I missed order booking at the time of booking, I missed tags. I might be needing category as well, but yeah, let's start with tags and order. I would say update. Oops, sorry, good enough to start. So you can see over here it has added tags and order with all the details or all the fields that we have. Best part, I would say, if you are looking it from a architecture perspective or team perspective, then it would act as a good tool for collaboration as well, because it is easy to hand over the details of the application without describing how many tables we have, how they are mapped with each other, and those kind of discussions can be avoided and we can save effort and time. Easy way to look at it, we can go to the model view. Over here you can see all the entities in more like you guys work with like the SQL or in .NET, there is entity viewer. So this actually will look like this. You can rearrange all the entities in the way, and let's say over here I want to have another field for tags. Yeah, I want to have tags, and I am looking up as relation field, relation to one with tag, add. So you can see like it will show, okay, now this field is connected. By the way, from here, if we do some modification, it is fine, we can directly jump to the preview, save it or sync it. But there is one more thing. If we come over here, and let's say I want to add in the staff, I want to add one more field, I can go over here. These are the list of fields that are supported. It is having like text, integer, decimal, boolean, date time, enumerator multi, relation to one, relation to many, relation to one user, files, image, or random. Like if you have unstructured data, you can also use JSON field as well. But over here I want to add one more, which is like email. For it, over here I can say this field is required. If you want something to be unique, minimum maximum validations, you can configure it from here. In the UI you can say if it is in the filter section, if this field is needed for export to Excel, you want to show it in list or hide it from list. Sometimes the fields are auto computed, so you do not need it into the create form or edit form. So you can do those kind of activities in the settings per field, all those. Okay, where is order entity? Leave it, I don't want it either. Okay. done. So over here we can say the same view projected is 3 application is going to be created, approximately 50 endpoints to 50 files. Demo will end on 1st December 2024, which is already passed away. I can create on build source code. So in source code, while it is building, you can easily connect it to the connect it to the GitHub. You can look at the earning model, you can refer it, but let's see if we can see it over here in progress. A general application takes approximately 5 to 7 minutes to complete generation, and until then, if you want, you can do that alterations like manage source code with GitHub, connecting to GitHub. For me it is already connected, otherwise there is a GitHub app that is getting the authentication from the GitHub itself, so this list will automatically being popped out or filled up. Coming to the audit logs, since we have created tags, let's say I'm going to edit this one. I made a typo by intention, it should be best, not best. Now since I modified this one, I can view it and I can see, okay, what are the audit logs. So this user has created it at this time, and the same user has updated this entity after 3-4 minutes. So these are the benefit of audit logs that are coming out of the box. So you can see what changes has been made. It is best, and in the previous version it was, when it was created, it was best. So see, in general, these are the activities that are performed in this application. Tenant was created initially, then I've created something in the data entity, then I've created something in the data entities, and those kind of stuff. For preview it is data, but however when you look at the real one, it would be different. We are following the same practices over here. In admin mode we are getting and we can track, however for in your case it might not be that trackable on FAB Builder itself. Since the code is ready, it is like you can download it directly from here. It will ask for 1 credit. Yeah, I have 2 credits, so I can download it right now. Or we can go to the code previewer. In the code previewer we have we can see the code that is generated for backend, like this one, create form. So over here you can see, okay, this application has this as create. If you have any preference, I can go through those files, otherwise for me it's just skimming. These are the endpoints that are created in the database section. If I club this one, in the database we have models for all the entities that are created, like room booking, reception, and those stuff, with all the fields: room number, check-in date, checkout date, tenant, created by, created at, and those kind of stuff. With the tags, it is only name. This configuration is also being saved in a very secured database and file system that is verified by Google, so there is no point of leaking out anything. As we said, like when we go to this demo, we support this multi-language, so you can see a separate folder for EN, ES, HI. I'm just trying for Hindi just to be localized. But over here you can see like all the strings are well defined. The naming convention is appropriate across the application. You can modify it over here. In ES you want to have different strings, in HI you want to have different strings. You can play with it, that's completely fine. For authentication and authorization, we follow the best practices for middlewares, like the tokens has to be JWT based tokens in the bearer headers or in the cookies, language middlewares, basically following all the best practices. Then coming to the security, like this application, when we are going to invite someone over here, we still have like 2 roles, admin and custom. If you want to add more roles, you can come to security folder. Here you can define a new role, like let's say you want to have a reader role. You can define a new role. In the permission file, you can define, okay, this I do not want reader to edit tenant or anything. I just want him to go to appointment center or appointment create. So you can just edit this array and put roles dot your reader, push it. If DevOps is connected, it get deployed into the system, into your application staging system. You promote it, it goes to to the production based on your needs. So all the permissions are very well defined and controlled physically. In our previous versions, we are maintaining it in the database, but then we find it challenging because people are creating more roles without knowing that how this role is going to be impacted. So we want it to be more controlled so that developers has better clarity on which role, which feature has been needed. But we still have the other solution. If you want dynamic roles, it can easily be deployed and configured for your needs. Coming to the front end, we can see a very optimized or very, by the way, we have email templates as well for invitation, password reset, and those stuff if you want to use. Otherwise, again, you can configure it based on your needs. The backend is following the best practices. You can just see. If you go to package.json, you won't find anything that is more license based or something. It is completely open source that we are using. On the front end side, we have the similar structure. Like front end we have this I18N, where you can see all the, like literally all the strings that are shown, even including this staff successfully created. This is generated out of the box when we create this kind of application. So you can do the transpiling easily. We have an .NET script as well. So if you put in if you give its link, it will do the magic of this Azure translations. It will generate the files based on your needs. On front end, it's using React. In React, we are using React plus Redux combination. So you can see the code views, action, reducers, selectors, list, import, export to Excel. When we are doing import, export to Excel, we can just say, okay, over here, when we are going to import, it asks me to download a template. In this template, there is a import columns. You can just after that upload it, and the data get uploaded.
Got it. Okay.
So those kind of things on front end as well. We have well managed security, as we said. Because we observed sometimes it is needed that the backend needs to follow different roles. However, on client side, we need to follow different roles. So you can define roles independently. Mostly it is the same, but sometimes we need different access controls over front end as compared to the backend. On the view side, we have generated all the components, headers, styles, flags, selectors, layout, reception module, autocomplete, the one that we have showed while entity linking, form, importer, list, and views and stuff like that.